Welcome to Downtime in the Apocalypse, a podcast where Ted talks and Kevin listens. I'm Ted.
And I'm Kevin.
Listeners, as you're listening to this, 2020 is over, but I'd be willing to bet the apocalypse is still going.
I'd be willing to bet so much money on that, Ted.
Look, while 2020 is gone and we can hope for a better future,
You shouldn't.
hope for the best,
Yeah.
prepare for the worst.
Yes, Ted.
Frankly, if the electrical grid is even semi-functional, you should be praying and thanks every day.
Yes, and thank God for Duncan, because they keep that electrical grid pretty well maintained.
Yes, they do. America runs on Dunkin' Electrical.
And Duncan water.
In coffee.
Yeah, I mean, that was assumed.
Yeah,
So,
I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
mentioning coffee is a bit redundant, though. I consume probably more than I should of their donuts, which they've tried to move away from in marketing.
Okay,
It's like the reason it's no longer Dunkin' Donuts
right,
is because they're a beverage focused company.
well, which makes sense.
Yeah, which they have. I mean, really, they have been for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Though they say that, and then they come out with like super good novelty donuts.
Like Duncan Fetty.
Dunkin' Confetti, but I was thinking more like the recent Ghost Pepper donut.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. That was
when
a
I
fun
was
donut.
traveling across the country, I stopped in Dunkin' Donuts and found one. I forget what it was. It's called like a bullseye, I think.
Okay.
And it was a normal chocolate donut, but then it had like a cream Hershey Kiss-like thing in the middle.
Oh, that sounds really
It was
good.
made of like a harder frosting thing, somewhere in between a marshmallow and frosting.
Okay, right. So that consistency, I guess. Yeah.
It was amazing.
Okay, that sounds like really good. I wouldn't mind trying that.
Yeah, then they also have like the Beyond Sausage Sandwich, which I enjoy.
Yeah,
I'm like,
which
are
you're a
you-
fan of.
Yeah, are you sure you want to focus on beverages? I mean, that's your call. You have a lot more data than me. But frankly, their food is really good.
I mean, the food is not bad. Like, you even take, like, the sourdough sandwich,
Yeah.
which is pretty great. I love sourdough bread in general.
I mean, compare that to kind of the mortal enemy of our nation, Starbucks. Starbucks food has never been really good.
No, it's sort of like that thing where it's, if you go to, like, a bar or something like that, there's someone heavily caked on with makeup. That is the Starbucks, really. That is the Starbucks situation.
Yeah, look, I think I've had like 2 good things at Starbucks, period, ever. That was food.
Okay.
And even then, I have to specify because, like, I've had other good food there, but it wasn't the proper Starbucks. It was the hidden Starbucks in Barnes and Nobles that accept Barnes and Noble gift cards.
Oh, yeah.
But they seem to have a better food selection most of the time. Like
They get, like, a lot of, like, short bread cakes
yeah,
and, like, things like
cheesecake.
that.
I've had really good
Yeah.
cheesecake.
Yeah, and I think that's more of the Barnes and Nobles
Right?
kind
Actually,
of, yeah.
I was about to say I've had a good stuffed pretzel with cheese.
Yeah.
But that might have been at a Barnes and Noble one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The only thing I've had good at a Starbucks food-wise was their cake pops.
Oh, the cake pops. Yes. Okay.
Now, if you haven't had one of those, it is a roughly 1.5 to 2-inch in diameter piece of cake with like a chocolate coating around it.
Yeah.
And they're good, but they're like $3 for what could very easily be a bite. Which, if you have to summarize the old world Starbucks in a sentence,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a great way of describing it.
Good
It's
in
like,
a bite.
yeah, it's good, but it's one
One
bite.
bite,
Like
yeah.
you don't run off Starbucks. There isn't enough sustenance there.
No, you would starve on Starbucks.
You'll
Starve on Starbucks. Run on Dunkin'.
It's kind of true though.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
very true.
Hell, ever get a Dunkin' muffin? That's a meal.
Yeah, that's like a what my sister used to like to do before she went on that whole diet thing was she used to like to get like the Dunkin' muffins, but you ask them to like heat up the muffin and put like the butter inside the muffin while they heat it up.
I
And-
didn't know you could do that.
Yeah,
Kevin.
you could. Yeah, it's amazing. It's a really good idea. They heat up the muffin and it's like that melted butter inside of it.
Damn, it
Mm.
sounds amazing.
That it is. It's really good.
Yeah, now I'm just thinking about the muffin, Kevin. I got nothing else to say.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So, besides Dunkin' muffins and such, let us talk about, I would say, our shared ration experience, because I did get you a few things.
Yes, Kevin has balanced the scales when it comes to gifts.
Yeah, bounce the scale. That's true.
And got me several drinks for Christmas. One being a grape-based vodka. I don't remember what the second one was, as is tradition.
As is tradition.
And I swear, number 2 unless I can't remember. And 3 was the elusive Warhead beer.
Kimchi was the other thing.
Kimchi, that's
Yeah.
right. I should have known that. Probably going to be my breakfast tomorrow for the new year.
It's really good kimchi too. I love that kimchi.
No, I have no doubt that picked out good kimchi. I mean, given the massive Korean influence in your life, you probably have a really good,
grasp on kimchi.
refined taste for good kimchi.
I would say one thing I love about just my family in general is my mom knows how to make great Korean food. What did you have for rations this week, Ted?
All right, Kevin. So you gave me Warhead beer.
Yes, I did.
And you know what? I was disappointed.
Underwhelmed?
Underwhelmed.
Yeah.
So before that, you shared with me some key lime pie beer.
Yep. It's a kettle sour key lime pie beer.
Which was very good and
Yep.
quite sour.
Yep.
The Warhead beer. The candy I have given myself chemical burns eating.
Yep. I remember this from last podcast.
Was not that sour. The key lime pie, which was appropriately lime sour, was more sour.
I mean, so here's my thing. Have you ever had the Dunkin' Donuts beer before, like the Harpoon?
No, I've been looking for it. I could never find it.
Okay, I had it while I was in Vermont. Sorry, Vermont. So I had that while I was up there. They had like tons of it for some reason. But one thing I had with that too was the Dunkin' Donuts like porter, right?
Okay.
And I would say not very coffee-ish.
Oh.
Compared to like some coffee beers I've had before. And the reasoning for that is what I understand is that if you're going for a mass market kind of flavor, if it's like Warheads, or if it's like Dunkin' Donuts, or if it's like anything like that in general, you want to not be too I don't know the word exactly.
Niche.
Yeah, you don't want to be too niche. You want to have like a flavor profile that will be broad enough that people in general will like it. It's a sour, but it's not a sour.
That's true. Which I will say makes sense for Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah,
but I'd argue for Warhead. Warhead, literally their only marketing is this is sour.
Yeah, I mean, and then I think also people that eat Warheads also don't get chemical burns on their tongue. So their profile of what is sour it might be a little bit different to you, Ted.
I wanted a nice bowl of Warhead.
Yeah, you wanted a nice bowl of Warhead. You got that, and then you also had to treat chemical burns. So
didn't really treat them.
Yeah, okay. Festered.
I mean, they healed with time.
Okay, the tongue is one of the fastest healing parts in your body, right there.
Is it?
Yeah.
I have not really looked into tongue health before.
Well, as someone who had chemical burns on their tongue, I'm kind of surprised.
Me too, now I think of it.
I mean, so besides trying that, we also tried these currently that we're having right now, which is gingerbread whoopie.
Yes, and it's smoey?
It is some.
It's spelled some, but there's
like what is that called?
An underline underneath the two vowels.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but it's pretty good.
I have really nothing to say about it, honestly. It's decent. I would have it again. It is a sweeter, darker stout.
I tried to find the peanut butter ones from last time, so you could try that, but I just could not find them anywhere.
Yeah. Now, I think my one complaint about this is I don't really taste any gingerbread or whoopie pie.
Yeah, that is.
This kind of goes into the mass market appeal.
Yeah, actually, yes. Where there's like a name on top of it, but you don't really get the name.
Yeah, no,
the flavor.
Look, gingerbread whoopie, like that's a fairly large marketing, and assuming any of those people like those things also like stouts, this would not be insulting or bad or anything.
No, definitely not.
But I feel like it's like I would count myself as kind of like a stout porter, basically only type of person. I'm a particular niche of marketing.
Same here. I would say like I'm also with you on that.
Yeah, there's a few others. I enjoy my sours, but
same.
I'm in that. Yeah, I think Kevin and I are pretty much in the same scale of beer liking.
Yeah.
And this could be more of that, and I would probably drink more of that. But if you're just looking for a holiday beverage, this is fine.
Yeah, it's not a bad holiday beverage per se.
You could probably give this to your family, and if they even like that sort of darker beer a little bit,
they would appreciate that.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of niche things, Kevin and I recorded recently, so I don't know what Kevin has been up to the last couple of days. But I'm hoping it's something interesting. Kevin, what have you been doing the last 2 days?
Okay, I've been reading a lot of manga as it is.
Is that how you're supposed to pronounce that? I thought it was manga.
Well, there's a difference. There's manga is Japanese, manhwa is like Korean.
Oh.
So there's like two different. I think also there's one like Chinese as well that is like a separate thing too. But there's like 3 different classifications on like graphic novels created by Asian countries. So there's some difference there. But
I learned something today.
Yeah. So one I have been reading, which I like a lot, is Weak Hero.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically about a kid who goes to a school in like Korea, and he just goes to like one of the worst schools in the whole entire country, where everyone's basically a delinquent. So as soon as he gets in there, almost immediately someone tries to like kick the crap out of him, and he takes like a book and just slams it into his face like 10 times.
Okay.
Yeah, and thing is too, like, and they say this a lot in like the novel in general. He looks very like feminine, so he's like very like thin and like little and like just not someone you would expect to be like physically fit or anything. And one of the things he does in general is to fight back against other people is just use environmental things around him to beat the crap out of people. Like in one fight, he takes like a flower pot and just smashes it on someone's face. And like another one, he takes like a pen and literally stabs it through someone's hand.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like he does stuff like that because he's not physically fit enough to fight, but he's physically fit enough to use other elements within his reach to just beat up people. Like he uses like a belt buckle to like slap people across the face, like stuff like that.
Kevin, did I ever tell you about the one fight I got into in Rome?
No.
All right, so I was with a friend of mine at a kind of dance club they called Discos there,
Okay.
and I hate these places. I have never been comfortable kind of just going there and asking random women to dance. That's not been who I am.
Yeah.
That being said, the Roman culture is basically grind against a woman until she fights you off hard enough or accepts it. That's not a joke.
Like ancient Rome.
Yeah,
All right.
so I am not exactly comfortable with, I don't know, sexual assault on a normal basis.
I would hope you're not, but yeah.
So a friend of mine, who, but she wanted to go dance, and that's fine. And she's quite small, so I agreed to go with her.
Yeah.
So generally, I'd get drunk at the bar.
Okay. Fair.
She was a little bit tipsier than normal. Some guy was giving her crap. She comes over to me, and blah blah blah. I'm drunker than normal, so I normally my thing is okay, let's just go.
Yeah.
But instead, I decided to pick a fight.
Okay.
Now the things about Romans is they'll talk a big game, but they're cowards.
Okay.
So
Just like Mussolini.
yeah. So basically, though, let's see Italia for details.
Yeah.
So they come over, I look them, finish my beer, and smash it against the counter and point the shards at them.
That's good. That's smart. I like that.
At which point they flee, and I go, all right, let's get out of here before the police show up.
Smart, Ted. Smart.
That being said, that nightclub, I was so bored at that place all the time because
Yeah.
all my, like the 7 Americans that went there, love this particular place. I just got bored and did a bunch of stupid things in there.
Okay.
So my favorite thing was sneaking into the employee-only and VIP sections.
Yeah. What'd you do in there, Ted?
Very little.
Okay.
I just stayed in the VIP section, like looked like I owned the place, and see how long it takes someone to notice.
Yeah, okay. Fair. Yeah.
But here's how bad it was. I showed one of the new employees where the employee bathroom was.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you knew this place pretty
Yeah,
well.
I knew this place pretty well. I just really could not have cared less because I was just uncomfortable with the dancing and everything.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, Ted, we're on the same wavelength with
Yeah.
that. So I hate those kind of places as well. Like that, those kind of places suck in general.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So I would just, basically get in trouble. That being said, sometimes I'd like leave early,
Yeah.
but I was like, I'm very bad like remembering metro systems in general. So I took the wrong bus at one point and ended up in a casino called Las Vegas
Oh, okay.
in the middle of Rome.
Yeah. All right.
Won a
Oh.
bunch of money, got scammed by a woman.
Oh.
Ended up actually like $20 richer at the end of the night. It was like
Alright.
this wild ride. And I showed up at like 7 in the morning to the freaking compound with a bunch of nuns and priests the next morning. Like, Ted, where the hell were you? It's like, you won't believe me. And I
Yeah.
just went to bed.
Okay.
It's like, no, not even gonna bother telling the whole story. No one's gonna believe this.
That's pretty okay. We should say that for next time.
Yeah, there's been a couple times where it's like, and then I took the wrong train, and that always ends up being weird.
Yeah.
It got so good, like when I was living in Belgium, I just hopped on random trains
Oh, okay.
because I was like, well, I'm gonna find something interesting.
Yeah. So might as well. All right. Jesus, Ted. Jesus, Ted.
So, anyways, here's what I've been doing, Kevin.
Go on.
So I have been going across the Sea of Japan, to Japan, and I finished watching My Hero Academia.
Okay, so this should be very interesting because I've heard so many different just opinions on this. So I would like to hear yours.
I mean, it was good.
Okay. I got like a couple of friends who really hate it. Like
Just the most recent season,
or just overall. Just hate My Hero Academia.
Oh, I mean, I've watched all of it. I run a campaign for my students set in it.
Yeah.
Like, I own an All Might hat. I saw the movie in theaters.
Yeah.
With my students.
Which is just basically Die Hard with quirks. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it was very good. Now, the season pacing was awful.
Yeah.
Frankly, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay. It feels like all the action was in the first half of the season.
Yeah, it kind of dies down a lot from there.
A lot. Like,
yeah.
I just feel like they could have extended the last season to be a few more episodes, and then had this start with the school festival arc, and dealing with the consequences, and then build up to something new rather than what they did, which was like have the cool thing and then the consequences. But the consequences aren't really high stakes.
No, not really.
It's all right. Let's make this one little girl happy. Try to get back to normalcy by putting on a concert for the rest of the school.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird pacing kind of thing.
I'm not saying it's bad. Like if they just changed up where the end of the seasons were,
it would be working a lot better.
Yeah, I just feel like this was a weird point to end the season on.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I definitely agree.
Yeah, because I was watching it just on one of those weird pirate channels on YouTube.
Yeah.
And when the season ended, I didn't believe it.
Oh, okay. So you didn't believe that was actually the season ending?
It took me a few minutes to do some research and find out. It's like, oh,
that was actually real. It. Yeah.
I'm not gonna get any more till March.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually have some of the Vigilante manga in my car, even, which is fine.
Yeah.
I enjoy this quite a bit. I actually own up to 6, but I've only read the first 2 because I mentioned it to my students, and it's just been in circulation amongst them.
Right. Okay. Right.
And I try to make my students as nerdy as humanly possible.
And you're succeeding.
Yes. One, so I have something to do. I have a definite niche I can do at school.
Yeah.
For activity, I can put up a anime hour, and kids will just sign up because I'm running it, and I will pick something good.
Yeah.
Or I'll be running an RPG, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be in the My Hero Academia world. I'm like, great. Suddenly, all of them within a week have sent by their parents the Mutants and Mastermind handbook.
Nice.
And we're going through. So it's something I like doing.
Yeah.
But that meant I didn't get to read my own manga.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So
okay,
I'm just reading number 3 now.
All right, that makes sense. Yes.
Yeah. Interesting enough, I can't forget the name. A student of mine is running a Mutants and Mastermind campaign at one of his father's friend's house.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
So my influence in the amount of celebrities that have had to hear about my RPG campaigns from a child has risen by 1 more to my knowledge, probably more. I can't say who, but I can say they were in the office.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. I love that so much.
Right? I love the amount of millionaire celebrities who have had to listen to their teenage children talk about my D&D and other campaigns.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, yes, I'm watching this movie. I know he's heard about Pugmire from his kid about me.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic.
It brings a little I don't know. I love it so much.
That is pretty great. I I love that in general. But let us talk a little bit about not only what we did this week, but in general, what did we have to pair to A Snow White Christmas?
All right, listeners. So this was
our famous 3-hour long podcast about that.
Look, listeners, I think we talked way more about it than the length of the movie.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I think so. When I go and look back on that, I think that it's actually true. So
the movie's 50 minutes. It's not hard to do that.
A little bit less than that, really, but yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it 48 or something?
Yeah, I think 46, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's including the credits.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
So, it's a generic movie tie-in, and I've been saving some RPGs for such things. And frankly, I think this was a mistake.
Oh, okay.
So, this week's RPG is Fate Accelerated. Now, Fate is one of the generic RPG systems where you can play anything in it.
Yeah.
You want to do a high school drama? You got that. You want to reenact Gilmore Girls? You got that too. You want the Bourne Ultimatum? Sure.
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne. Yeah.
If you want to do Jesus Christ Superstar? Sure.
Yeah, why not? All right.
That being said, Kevin and I faced an issue with this. It's such a generic movie. What characters do we make?
Yeah.
And it took us a while, and we ended up making 3 characters each because it took us a while to figure out anything that would make even some sense.
Yeah, very true. So we had to make a couple of a few different characters here.
Yeah.
So
so we started out with the most realistic characters, Then went to local inspiration.
Yep.
And then finally, after some thought and consideration, made characters that could conceivably be related to the movie we watched.
Yeah. So kind of a backwards way to go about that, but it's fine.
Yeah, so the first characters we did were potential adventurers in today's post-apocalyptic world. So we didn't want to go with a Starbucks Empire-based people. That I don't want to have our current soldiers feel demeaned by being part of a game.
Yeah, exactly. So let's not do that. Let's do something that deserves to be made fun of.
Right, exactly. So Kevin, would you like to start?
Yeah, I'll start first there. And my first character is Shreg the Forceful, a Shrekanite preacher.
Right, and I am playing Fallout Boy, a New Jersey Shore ghoul.
Yep.
So, this is part of Fate, and particularly the version we're playing, their Rules Light version, Fate Accelerated. You have a certain number of concepts. The first one is your high concept. This is the definition of your character. Harry Potter is chosen wizard. Katniss Evergreen is rebel archer.
Yeah.
I don't know. Frodo Baggins is hobbit with magic ring.
Yeah. Or like Goku is idiot that is strong.
I would say like knucklehead with a heart of gold.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. The knucklehead who endangers his child.
Regularly. Though, in that defense, his child is like one of the 7 people on the planet who can't help.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, I mean, when he's like 7, he has to fight like Perfect Cell. It's not the best thing.
Look, I'm not saying it's great. I'm saying
he has to go to Namek and kill people.
I'm saying he has 2 options here: endanger his own child, or endanger every other child, including his own.
So you're saying he's noble despite that?
No, I'm saying it's a shitty choice.
Well, okay, that's fair. All right, fair enough.
Now, whether or not Goku has the mental acuity to figure out that that's a weird choice to make is a totally different question.
I don't think he does.
I don't think so either.
He doesn't know what sex is.
Well, apparently he does. He has a child.
Well, like, one of the lines in Dragon Ball is like, yeah, and I kissed Chi-Chi for the first time yesterday. And that was after they were together for like 15 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that, I don't know if he understands that per se.
Well, whether or not he understands it, he definitely did it.
Maybe Gohan was from a different marriage? I don't know.
No, it can't be. I mean,
it could be.
He has a tail. There's only 2 Saiyans on the planet.
Well,
honestly,
Raditz was there for a short while.
I suppose. The timeline gets really weird then.
Well, I mean, the timeline in general is very weird, especially
that is true.
Especially with young Trunks and like future Trunks and all that kind of stuff.
Oh god, yeah. All right, so actually, going like young Goku would be like boy on adventure. His trouble would be doesn't really understand the world, and then his 2 other concepts would probably be like his weird items he has: a flying cloud to help him traverse the planet,
Good old Nimbus,
and an extending pole.
Yeah, which I wish he still had that.
Yeah, I don't. He gave it to his son, right?
No, I don't think so, because I don't remember Gohan using it ever. He's got like the Dragon Ball on top of his head, like from the hat and everything for some reason. The most valuable item in the world.
Yeah, let's get off Dragon Ball.
Let's get off the Red Ribbon
play
Army.
That RPG later.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, dude, have you ever seen Dragon Ball Evolution?
Maybe I'll have to check
the live action movie.
No.
Yes! Oh my god, that's gonna be great! Can't wait. All right, this is great.
Things I wish I didn't bring up, because I think there's a Dragon Ball RPG, but if not, I know a couple that would fit perfectly with it.
Okay, I can't wait, because that Dragon Ball Evolution movie is goddamn awful.
So anyways, yeah, there's a high concept, a flaw, then you could have somewhere between 0 and 4 other concepts for your character. I like starting with 2 and then giving you another 1 or 2 as the game progresses.
Yeah, I like that too. That's honestly kind of nice.
So, for the first characters we made, I made Fallout Boy, the high concept New Jersey Shore ghoul.
Yep.
As we all know, New Jersey has been nuked.
Yep.
So that's where he is. Now, his flaw is he still thinks he's sexy. He doesn't really have skin, per se.
And if you ever seen a ghoul from Fallout, you would not call them sexy.
No, hell, if you saw a ghoul in real life, the real life ghouls are remarkably similar.
Yeah.
Except the game doesn't really show how disgusting they are.
Yeah.
And I don't know, for some reason, most of them like speak in a gravelly voice. I don't know why, but real ghouls maintain their voice almost perfectly, except sometimes they don't have lips, so it comes in odd.
Yeah, so it's hard for them to pronounce some words without lips.
Right,
but yeah.
Like, it's very strange when you see one of these poor people, and they just have a baritone deep voice.
Like they could still sing in a choir.
Yeah, exactly. So this character
Oh.
still thinks he's sexy, but his other two aspects are his muscles are ripped in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Whatever that means is up to you.
Yeah, yeah.
And his final aspect is mildly successful influencer.
And together we kind of worked on these just like a little bit. We took some inspiration from each other here. And I feel that someone from the Jersey Shore, especially nowadays, would be a mild influencer. So
Yeah, he would be, to the fallout shelters.
yeah, to the fallout shelters, so that all young boys and girls want to be like him.
Kevin, go through yours. Then we'll talk about the admittedly amazing stats this game has.
Yes, I love these stats. So we have Shreg the Forceful. He's a Shrekanite preacher, and if you are unfamiliar, Shrekanites are basically from Mars, came down to Earth, and then they are living in our swamps.
And spreading their religion and interbreeding with our people.
Yes, which all terrible in a way, but I mean, it's something we can talk about, and we can also make fun of because they're so ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, they go to their weird teleporting people in their fire swamps and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
I went down to what I thought was the swamp lands, and there were very few in number. So
Yeah.
I think most of them have decided to stay in their own swamps on Mars.
Yeah, which, you know what?
Works best for everybody.
Yeah, it works best for everybody.
They have their territory.
Yeah.
We have our territory, and besides the occasional trade, let's stick to that. I feel like that's a mature way of having foreign policy.
Yeah, having that separation there is fine, especially because we don't want to encroach on anyone else here. So
yeah, they're not an enemy of the Empire.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
exactly. So one thing with a Shrekanite preacher is that they always smell of a swamp. So that's their fatal flaw, is that they always smell like a swamp smells. And if you've never smelled a swamp, then you're considered lucky, I suppose.
I mean, I suppose. I don't know anyone who hasn't smelled the swamp. Like, what sort of... Like, you have to be, like, stuck in a city for your entire life? Or
Yeah, I
maybe a
mean...
shelter of some sort?
I mean, nowadays, I would say people have smelled less swamps than before, because why would you travel to a swamp?
I mean, this is true, though. Like, North Brookfield, this has a lot of swamps in it.
That's fair.
And, I mean, there's two types of swamps, really.
Yeah.
There's kind of the lifeless helibuses and, like, bogs, which have a lot of life to them.
Oh, okay, yeah, like those two different differentiations
so, like, the ones in
there.
North Brookfield, I mean, you can grow crops near them. They're relatively fertile.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Ted, yet again, I listen and you are right, so it's fine. And one thing that a Shrekanite always has is layers.
Which is one of your aspects.
Yeah, I have layers.
Now, as it is revealed later, that is physical and emotional layers.
Yes. So I have a lot of layers emotionally and physically.
Dress in layers, people, is probably the best way of dressing.
Yeah.
I'm wearing exactly one layer, two if you count underwear.
Yeah. He's so unprepared for the world around him. So, and one last thing, too, is that practice what I preach.
Which is impressive.
Yeah. And I don't want to be a hypocritical Shrekanite, so that seems like the best option to have right there.
Sounds about right. Now, the stats in this game are really called approaches, and it's how you approach a task. And they are, for the most part, alliterative. I think that's the word. I mean, it kind of has a pattern.
Alliterative?
That's not right.
What would the word be for that, Ted?
I don't know.
Okay.
The first two are both beginning with C's. They're careful and clever.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like, yeah.
The second two are flashy and forceful.
Yeah.
And the last two break the pattern with quick and sneaky.
Yeah.
I still wish...
Slick.
Yes, slick or speedy.
Speedy would be great, yeah.
Speedy and sneaky?
Speedy and sneaky would be like a... Ted, why is it every time we talk about like a RPG in general that there's always like some very fundamental flaw that you could improve with a very easy quick fix?
Oh, because they didn't, I mean, you just need outside minds.
I guess so.
If you work with like the same 10 people, you're going to make the same mistakes.
I guess, but like speedy and sneaky seem like so easy. It's so easy. It's like I don't understand how you didn't get that.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. Because it goes CCFFQS.
Yeah, and that's like the biggest. That's really bothers me now. All right, fine.
Yep. So for this campaign, it's like system. It's based on how you approach things. So if your bashing down if you're trying to get through a door, how about that?
Yeah.
Carefully picking the lock, cleverly looking for alternative solutions.
Yeah.
Flashily declare your intent to open the door and demand the guards behind it open it.
Yep.
Forcefully bash through it.
Yep.
Quickly run around to the other side of the building and see if there's another entrance. Sneakily go through the air ducts.
So what I like about that in general is that it compared to like I don't know Dungeons and Dragons there per se. There's like a very certain way you can like approach something, very specific, I should say. But with this, it's a lot more freeform, which I like a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and I always appreciate that with different sort of like RPG settings.
Yeah. Now it's interesting because really having DM'd this a few times, I think it's important to like only have the characters have a little bit of their character sheet for reminding. Like really, the stats should just be in front of the GM.
Okay, yeah.
So then they describe what they're doing,
Right.
and then you apply the modifiers.
Yeah, that's
So they can't say, "Oh, I'm going to flashly go through." It's like, well, tell me what you're going to do.
Yeah.
You know, if your idea of how to evacuate the building is fire a gun into the air, yep, that's definitely flashy.
Yeah.
If you're just forcing people out a door, that is forceful.
Yeah, you're right. Then again, too, I would say like shooting a gun into the air and trying to make people evacuate that way is also kind of forceful in a way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like there's
Yeah.
some overlap. I'm not going to say there's none.
Yeah. That
In which
depends.
case, I'd probably use the better stat.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
I always assume competence in the characters. So if they're better at shouting, just generic stuff, and kind of being frightening, that's one thing. And if their other thing is like fire in the air and making a big scene out of it, and saying strange things and really getting emotions up,
Yeah.
that's another one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very similar. Yes. Is there a difference that you could draw the line? Yeah.
Yeah, difference in intense or something else similar. Yeah.
Just shouting or trying to like get attention and move.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I love about this game. It's very freeform.
Yeah, no. So when you pick the stats, one of the 6 gets +3.
Yes.
2 of them get +2.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them get +1, and 1 gets nothing.
I mean, that's kind of better than the other RPG we played before, which was Dark Heresy, where you have to apply like a negative modifier. Which I mean, this is much more lenient, at least.
Yeah, no. No matter what, this is kind of a thing with a lot of stats nowadays. Like with the heroic raise and everything.
Yeah.
While you do have a flaw, you're definitely better than most. You are a hero or a main character.
Which is going to be kind of funny once we talk about some of the other characters we have.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's definitely a hero.
So, my guy, Fall Out Boy, whose real name is Eric Thompson, because I couldn't think of a worse, more boring name.
Wallace. Like, I don't know.
Has +1 to being careful, because basically the only thing he ever remembers is to wear a condom.
Yeah.
+0 to clever. He is from the Jersey Shore and tries to act like it. +3 to flashy. I don't feel like I need to explain that.
Yeah,
Nor do I have to explain my +2 to forceful.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're right.
+1 to quick. I mean, he might have been a speedy guy when he was younger, but his skin kind of sticks to the ground now.
Yeah, a little bit.
And he has +2 to sneak because, you have to sneak those sheets into the boom boom room and get that sex stool from the Jersey Shore. I don't know much about the show.
Well, yeah, I just know that roofies are probably prevalent, so you have to be sneaky in a way.
True. God, that got dark.
Yeah, well.
Okay, Kevin, go through your stats and your justifications.
Okay, so I have a +2 to careful because as a heretical preacher, that I feel that you do have to be kind of careful in a certain way, not to incur the wrath of other more legitimate religions.
Heretical. I mean, I suppose the followers of Elon Musk would say that. I mean, assuming you're not trying to invade the territory, you're allowed in the Empire. Though I don't know what Starbucks has to say about religion.
Yeah, I'm just going from a certain perspective there as a Shrekanite. So I would assume that.
Okay, so thinking as a Shrekanite. Okay.
Yeah, thinking as that. So another thing is +2 clever, because I think living in a swamp you have to be kind of clever.
No, okay. Look, like this is something that bugs me. It's when like farmers are portrayed as stupid.
Well, okay, yeah.
You need a lot of information to do stuff like that. Like there's a lot you have to do.
Yeah, you need a whole almanac basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you're living in a swamp, you gotta be quick on your feet and clever as hell. That makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, makes sense to me too. +1 to flashy.
Get out of my swamp.
Yeah, basically.
You have some Clint Eastwood style one-liners.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't want people trespassing on your property, so there we go. +3 the forceful.
Somebody
once told me.
Yeah, it's a forceful song.
And I feel that as someone who is like a preacher, you have to be a little bit forceful in the way you talk.
Okay, interesting. That is a different way of preaching than I would have thought, but it makes sense. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it doesn't make sense.
+1 to quick, just because you do have to be quick in a swamp, and +0 to sneaky, because the way he portrays himself, I don't think he's a very sneaky individual.
Yeah, plus his flaw is smells bad.
Yeah, so you can smell him from a mile away.
Yeah. So there's only a couple more parts of his characters. They are very easy to make. They're quite fun to make, actually. It's one of those things where you can sit down and make a few characters with a few beers and have a good laugh.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we
That's
did.
what we did. They're
Yeah.
fun to make. They're not like Dark Heresy where you have to go through 75 different pages.
Well, 75 different pages where you're not exactly sure where some of the information is.
Yeah. I think the only other like really fun character creation we've done is Traveler.
Traveler was fun.
Traveler is fun, but it's just because there's so much like risk there.
Yeah, I mean,
You make a story when you're making a Traveler character. You don't have a choice.
yeah, I feel like that, and I had some fun with like Nightbane. I had some fun with
Nightbane's
Nightbane.
fun too.
Yeah, in a different kind of way.
Yeah, Nightbane's fun though. It's not as simple as this.
No, definitely not
Nightbane
as
has
simple.
the wonderful 1007 skills to go through, and
Yeah.
like honestly, the fact that it makes so little sense is part of the fun of playing games.
Yeah, I mean, this is more fun in terms of like you can create the character from a certain like mental perspective. But in Nightbane, it's a roll of a die, and then whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, no. If you're playing Nightbane, look, if you're not doing something particular,
Yeah,
you should probably just roll for it.
yeah,
Like,
and
if
then
you want to play the half vampire, go nuts. I'm not saying, yeah, I played that character. It's quite fun.
yeah,
But if you're going to play a Nightbane and you don't roll for it,
it's kind of boring.
yeah, you're wasting your time.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless you have like a really funny idea. Like I can imagine, if I decide to play the Hulk with tiny fairy wings,
The Hulk and Fairy.
the Hulk, like you can do some fun stuff, but I still think I prefer to roll for it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that entirely.
All right, so the next thing's called stunts,
Yes,
which is an awful name for what it is.
yes. Better thing would be techniques.
Techniques, yeah. So these are things your character's good at, in particular. So basically, you pick a particular stat, a particular type of role. There's only a few of those. It's overcome for obstacles, attack, defend, or create or find an advantage.
Yeah.
So you can go, okay, so I decide that I want to be good at, defending really good. Okay, how do I defend? Well, for my ghoul character, forcefully, because he just doesn't feel pain. So because I no longer feel pain, I get +2 when forcefully defending against physical attacks. I can still be embarrassed. I can't defend against that by not showing weakness most of the time.
Yeah.
But if you're hitting me with a sword, you better be striking a lethal point.
Yeah.
Because I can just block with the bones in my arms and won't care.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
It's like, it will heal. I won't feel it in the meantime. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Now, the other one I picked was overcoming. It could have also been creating advantage. I went back and forth. So, because I am loud, obnoxious, and demand to be the center of attention, I get +2 when flashly overcoming. If I can create a loud distraction, that would be helpful.
Yeah, which is perfect, really.
Yeah, so I can just basically, if I was able to play this character, I'd look up quotes from the situation.
Yeah.
And basically shout those, but I'm like this super muscular undead monstrosity that's flexing.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, you know what? I wouldn't look up his quotes. I just watched like the roast of someone that he was on.
Yes, okay,
And
that's
just like
good.
his like stupid comments.
Yeah, okay.
And just like say those over and over or say things like them.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. So just really quick, I love Norm Macdonald really quick, and he was on a celebrity roast of the guy from Full House.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of the things he did was, because he doesn't like roast in general, he just took this like really terrible old like joke book and just read a bunch of jokes from that. And
That's kind of awesome.
yeah, it really was. I love it so much. But one of the things he said was like, yeah, you remind me of a flower, a cauliflower, because you're so ugly.
Yeah.
Like things like that.
So I met a friend in Belgium named Danaya. She's from Slovenia.
Yeah.
And she is a wonderful person and a very sort of punny and jokey individual. But that's because, like, she literally learned English from her father's joke books.
That's beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, by the way, if you want to know how most Belgians learned English better than their kids,
Yeah.
the kids better than their teachers when they were kids,
Yeah.
it was to teach themselves how to play Pokemon.
Wow. Okay, that's really interesting. All right.
I got that from, like, out of the 10 Belgians I asked,
Yeah.
like 7 or 8 said Pokemon
Oh, that's amazing.
or similar video games. Like, the amount Pokemon has done for the English language is amazing.
That is really cool. All
Also, it
right.
shows the tenacity of kids where it's like, no, I'll teach myself a language to play this game.
Yeah. If you're motivated enough, then there you
It's
are.
like in Plato's Republic, it talks about how to get people to learn was make them games.
Oh, okay.
And
That's smart.
damn, our education system's stupid if we didn't accept the fact that we can teach them a language to get them to play Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? You're right. I. So,
Come on, people, we're doing this the hard way.
yeah, do it the easy way, not the hard way. But two of my stunts or techniques, as we would prefer to call them, because I smell like a swamp, I get +2 to forceful when in close combat if the opponent can smell.
Which makes perfect sense. If you're just gagging, you can't really defend against just a punch to your face
Yeah, basically.
because you're too busy like coughing or something.
Yeah, too busy just trying to overcome the smell
Yeah,
itself.
there's no fencing involved. It's simply you have other major sensory input that distracts you.
Exactly.
That being said, if you're fighting a robot with no sense of smell,
Not going to help.
no.
No, completely useless. But my other one is because I have layers, I get a +2 to carefully overcoming if I'm in a cold environment.
Yeah, so basically, anytime there's a cold modifier or something, it doesn't affect him. He has like 12 layers on.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't you listen to your grandmother dress in layers?
Yeah, dress in layers. I mean, you're like a cake or an onion if you dress in layers, basically.
Exactly. Now, we had fun with those characters, and then we decided to go something closer to home,
Yeah.
and we went with the canines and canine-like individuals that Kevin has in his home.
Yes. Yes, we did.
So, Kevin played our sound producer, Stu.
Jerry.
Oh, God, I'm drunk.
Yeah. Sound producer Jerry.
Sorry, Jerry.
Oh, that's Jerry right there. So, yes, but sound producer Jerry.
Jerry, and I played Stu the Hammer, the mostly bulldog, and I think tarantula.
Yeah. 1/8 or 1/16, I
I
think.
went with 1/16 for one of his aspects.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, so I'm just going to go through my entire character.
Well,
And then,
for good blood purity, it has to be at least like 1/16, I think. So Stu's got that good lineage.
hey!
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to go through my entire character, and then
Okay.
Kevin's go through his entire for this one.
Yep.
So, Stu the Hammer, prime aspect, living battering ram. And when I've come to Kevin's house multiple times, Stu has charged the door and just slammed into it, head first, chest first.
Yeah.
And it shakes the door and a little bit of the house way more than you'd expect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, that being said, Stu is not the smartest bulldog in the shed.
No, in the shed, no.
So, Kevin has a shed full of super intelligent clone bulldogs.
Yeah, and they're all smarter than Stu. He scored the lowest on the IQ scale.
Yeah, so his flaw is me fail English, that impossible.
Yep. Yep.
Now, his other two aspects. The first is just something I've noticed about him, and I still don't fully understand it. It's called Women Love Me for some reason. And look, I like the bulldog. Kevin doesn't.
To be brutally honest, yes.
You have to use a forceful attack against Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, by the way, is how the system works. Social and mental damage are the exact same.
Yes, you use the same kind. Yeah.
Which I like, because it kind of goes through, like, if you're suffering through emotional scars or anything, it has the same impact.
Yeah, which I approve of.
Yeah. That being said, Kevin's mother, Kevin's sister, any woman that happens to meet Stu, really, just loves him. And I cannot figure out why.
It's one of the unsolved mysteries of this world, my friend.
Hell, this dog has children.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. And then, of course, I went with his true heritage. He is 1/16 tarantula for his final act.
Yeah.
For his approaches, I went with +1 careful and +0 clever. There was a big debate of which one I should go for 0 there. Frankly, if this game had more options, like to just give multiple things 0, I would have given both those 0.
Yep.
+1 flashy, +3 forceful, +2 quick, and +2 sneaky. And his technique / stunts because I am, in fact, a bastard,
Yep.
I get +2 when forcefully attacking if there are no witnesses.
I like that a lot just because it reminds me of my Ninja Burger character,
Yeah, that was so. Kevin plays an Ninja Burger character who is like
Trevor.
Trevor, who has like +2 to shooting people in the back.
Yep.
And I was thinking, well, does that go under sneaky? But it's not that he's being stealthy about it. It's just if no one's around to see it.
Yeah.
It's not him being stealthy. It's circumstances being right.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically. Yes.
And then the other one is he has a other type of aspect, or not aspect,
Stunt.
that fits with the word better.
Yeah.
And it's these once per session bonuses you can pick. You can pick either the +2 to circumstances or a once per session thing. And here's a good example. Because I can break through any barrier once per session, I can overcome any physical obstacle. And having seen him attack a door,
Yeah.
I have no doubt that he could do it.
I have no doubt about that either. That fits him perfectly, actually. So going with my character now, I have MC Jerry, our sound producer. So he's a canine sound producer.
For his high concept.
For his high concept. His fatal flaw, which we've had several times during our sessions here in podcasting, is that he is compelled to play fetch at all times.
He really likes fetch.
Yeah, he really likes fetch.
More than any other dog I've ever met.
Yeah. One of my other aspects is my bark is as bad as my bite, as Ted has experienced before when
He's a loud dog.
Yeah, he's a loud dog and he bites hard.
Meh.
Yeah. And then the other aspect is a producer of a subpar podcast.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, that's about right. So for everything else, he has careful +1, which I would say, like, if you are a producer of any sort, that you have to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, he's
at least.
a little careful.
Yeah. Clever +2. He managed to rope me into a contract for 10 years, so I would say he's very clever.
Now, was that you? Did you, Kevin Prime, sign that?
One of the Kevins did, and then somehow that transferred over to me. So that's also why I hate clones.
Why do you make so many?
I'll get into that. But flashy +1, because he has a little extravagance to him. Forceful +2, because he loves playing catch and he loves coming down and just interrupting everything.
Now, I gotta say, he's out here now. As you said, flashy. He decided to forgo the stairs as soon as he got close and just jump over the couch.
Yeah, he's flashy in a way. I don't want to watch him too much. Then there's quick +3, because
That makes perfect sense.
yeah, he's like one of the fastest dogs ever, basically.
He's the fastest non-greyhound.
Yeah, that I've seen. And sneaky +0, because I can always tell when Jerry's around.
That's fair. Now, to be perfectly honest, when I'm saying he is fast, I'm not talking about running speed.
Yeah.
But his reaction time's amazing.
Reaction time's like perfect, actually.
Yeah. Like in Shadowrun, there's a thing where like those two stats are separated. Like if you have wired reflexes and have like fiber optic cables replace your nerves to react, it doesn't make your muscles move faster, but makes the brain impulses go quicker.
Yeah.
And he definitely has that.
Yeah, I would say so. And two of his stunts. One, because I'm a dog, I get a +2 to quick if I chase any ball-shaped object.
Which includes things like grenades, I guess.
Yeah, it really does. And the other one is because I'm a sound producer, I get a +2 to forcefully defend if the attack is sound-based.
Look, he's used to hearing shouts and all that jazz.
Yeah.
If there's a concussion grenade, his ears can handle it. He's used to it.
Yeah, he's readily prepared for those kind of attacks there.
Yeah. So we do have to talk about aspects a little bit.
Yes.
So this is a kind of a core mechanic of Fate and Fate Accelerator.
Yeah.
So you don't roll normal dice; you roll fudge dice. Fudge was the old version of Fate.
Yeah.
Which we'll never talk about really because it's just the older edition and doesn't really have any merit besides just being what it's built on.
Yeah.
So
just the foundation, I suppose.
Two sides of these sixes. The six-sided dice have plus signs, two of them minus signs, and two of them are blank. You can very easily just transfer over normal dice and say 5 or 6 are pluses. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
And you roll those, and if you get the plus signs, you get +1, minus -1, with nothing. And you add that to the appropriate stat, and then possibly any stunt you have, and there you got the result, and you either have to beat what the DM picks, or the opposed roll. You do have something called fate points. Everyone starts with a certain number. The general advised number is 3. However, you can, when you're making the character or when you hit certain milestones, give up a fate point and get another stun. Whether or not that's worth it is debatable.
And up to you.
However, when you're playing, you can spend a fate point, give it to your DM, and get a bonus. So, for example, if I've already used my once a day, I can break through any physical barrier with Stu here.
Yeah.
I can invoke the aspect of living battering ram by giving the DM one of my fate points.
Yep.
And then I can do one of two things: either get a +2 to the roll or re-roll the dice. Now, there's a flip side. Anyone can make you act like one of these.
Yeah.
So, me failing to stun impossible could be invoked by the DM, and if that happens, the DM holds out a fate point and says, hey, I'll give you a fate point if you don't understand that direction. And I have a choice. I can either accept it and change how I roleplay, or I can give him one of mine.
Yes.
And act out a character. Now, you can invoke it yourself if you want to play the meathead and you make a decision that would 100% result in a less optimal
kind of situation.
Because of that.
Yeah.
That's fine. You can just do that. And they give you a fate point if they agree.
Yeah.
And that's how this works. So that's why these things matter.
Yes. Which I think is very interesting and kind of, very fun. So.
Yeah, I tried playing this with my students, and man.
No.
Oh my god. No.
No.
Oh my god. It was 75 different compels against each other before every move.
Oh god. All right. Yeah.
They've proven to me they can really form a team and work together. They've also proven to me they can be very spiteful. But that's teenagers for you.
Yeah.
The best and worst of humanity.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. That's fair. The internet has proven that time and time again.
Yep. So, where do we go from here?
Well, we go to our last characters.
Okay, look. So, we've at Kevin's suggestion, we decided that we'd make characters somewhat related to characters in the movie, and we decided to go with literal relations. So, as we learned from that wonderful, wonderful Snow White movie last time,
Yep.
the 7 friendly giants are in fact cousins of the 7 dwarves.
Is it friendly dwarves?
I don't think they're friendly. I think they're dwarves.
Yeah, because Grumpy is not friendly. Yeah, that's fair. All right.
Yeah, they're just people.
Yeah, they're just dwarves, and dwarves come in many shapes and sizes.
Well, at least
not sizes per se, but many different
shapes and personalities.
Yeah, that's fair. Apparently, giants come in friendly.
Yeah.
All right.
They might be they're like second cousins, the assholes.
Oh yes, like the
we are the 7 wicked giants.
I like that. Oh, instead of BFGs.
Man, those would have been so much cooler characters than what we made.
Yeah, I know.
So we decided to play cousins of both of them, which, if you're somewhere in between a dwarf and a giant, that just makes you a person.
Yeah. Basically. So we made 2 regular old guys.
Yeah, who the only thing really distinct about them is that they have a bunch of brothers. There's 7 of them total.
Yeah, and we decided to make just 2 of them.
Yep. I mean, we could have made the entire 7, I guess, but that would have taken a while.
That would have taken like a little bit longer.
Honestly, if we had that idea earlier on and not made any other character and just made the 7 normal dudes.
Oh, that would have been. Ted, why did you bring this up now? Could have brought this up earlier.
I didn't think of it till now.
That's fair. So I'll go first.
Okay.
I have Dilford Chimley, who is a very old actor. That's his high concept.
Yep.
And his flaws, I have gout.
I'm Dilford Chimley.
I have gout. I wasn't afraid of dying, but I knew it was coming for all of us. And then also he's a professional tumbler, so he knows how to roll, literally. And lastly, he tells tall tales. So he knows from his old acting days a lot of different stories that would be intriguing and interesting to listen to. But, Ted, enough about me and Dilford Chimley. Let's hear about you.
All right, so I'm playing Henry Steller.
Yep.
His high concept is nearly perfectly average man.
Yep, exactly.
His trouble flaw is he is colorblind. Then his normal aspects, he is a choir singer,
Yep,
and on a day-to-day cycle, he is a beet farmer.
yep. I would perfectly expect that from him.
Yep, he is. I mean, it's kind of a medieval world. He
Yeah,
goes to church on Sunday, does a little bit extra, and then goes home and farms.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's all you can really expect out of a man.
Yep. Now, the one thing that's interesting is beets are the same color as everything else.
Yes, okay.
So he has cut himself and saw beet juice before.
I thought you were gonna say like he tried to sell beets, but they were also rocks. Just like like a rock shaped beet.
Yeah, I wasn't. Maybe like he's like, hey man, I hate to break it to you, this is a potato.
Oh, I'm not a potato farmer. Just get rid of that. You can have that for free.
No, he probably gives it away for free.
Yeah,
That's part of it.
yeah, exactly.
He is well respected in his community. That's one of his stunts.
Yeah. All right.
So, Kevin, for your wonderful gout-ridden man,
Yeah. Dilford Chimley. Yes.
what are his approaches?
All right. So he is a careful man. So he has +2. Too careful. Just in general, just being someone with gout, I think you would just in general be very careful with how you do things. He is a also a clever man, +2. Because yeah, I would say if you're enough of an actor or anything else like that, you're relatively clever with those kind of things. Flashy +3. As a tumbler and as a actor in general, you have to have a very fine stage presence. Forceful +1. He has gout. Enough on that. Quick +0. He has gout. And sneaky +1. He has the gout.
All right. So Henry Steller has +3 to careful.
Okay.
He's always particular about checking his almanac to make sure he's planting in the optimal times.
Of course.
And making sure to not hoe over viable plants and everything.
Of course.
He has +2 to clever. He isn't against using new solutions to solve old problems.
Yep.
He is 0 to flashy.
0. Because he's a perfectly average man.
Yeah, he is completely generic. The most outgoing thing he does is being a member of a choir.
Yeah.
Where it's a large choir that everyone dresses identically and he never gets solos.
Yes.
Nor
okay.
does he want them.
Nor does he want them, exactly.
Yeah, he is +1 to forceful because they couldn't give him 2 +0s. I suppose.
I think if you're a farmer, you have to be a little bit forceful with the earth.
You have to pull stumps out of your horses and everything.
Yeah.
He has +2 to quick. I don't actually know why. He just seems like the type of person to have a decent reaction speed.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
And +1 to sneaky because once again I can't give him multiple +0s.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean I can go with. Never mind. He is soft spoken and quiet.
Oh yeah, so he's naturally sneaky. He doesn't employ that.
It's not that it's all nature, no training.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense to me.
Just the way he walks is so nonchalant.
So generic. He doesn't get picked
Actually,
up.
you know what? I should switch sneaky and quick.
Yeah.
So he's just a little bit, perceptive and kind of quick react. But really, he has +2 sneaky just by his very nature. Like, he can just walk past you in, like, a zone where he shouldn't be allowed. But he just looks so boring and generic. No one questions it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he must be the janitor or something.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's fine. Okay, that makes sense. I like that. That's good. All right.
Yeah, so, mistaking my character, it should be +1 to quick, +2 to sneaky.
I like that a lot.
That being said, we'll get to this in a little bit. Super easy to change all of this.
Yes.
So, Kevin, did you do your stunts for this wonderful man?
No, I have not. Because I'm a very old actor, I get a +2 to clever if I'm dealing with a cliche in plays. So if there's any sort of cliche I have to deal with, then I get a +2 to that.
Yeah,
clever.
he knows how to deal with this. There's been a smart playwright that already wrote the best solution for this, and he has it memorized.
Yes, exactly. And my other is because I tell tall tales once per session, I can distract someone with a story.
Yeah, so that's one of the once per session do something cool things.
Mm-hmm.
So, my version of this is because I am well respected in my community, I get +2 when carefully overcoming if I'm dealing with local officials.
Yes.
I know what to say. I know what to bring up.
Yeah.
I know that I've filled out every bit of paperwork perfectly.
Yeah. How's your daughter doing? Like those kind of
exactly.
things. Yeah.
And this is probably the most interesting thing about this character. Because I have a large family, because he has 6 brothers.
Yep.
Once per session, I can summon a brother to help.
Which could also be me.
Yes. However, it could be like, I don't know, Clairol Canson, the serial killer.
Oh, yeah, he could deal with some situations for you.
We could have way more interesting siblings.
Oh, we could have some like super interesting siblings,
Yeah.
like Forrest the clairvoyant.
Oh, I was thinking Forrest of the Gump.
Oh, Forrest of the Gump, and he's really good at like shrimp boating.
Yeah, shrimp boating and running.
Just run, Forrest, just run.
So actually, when I was in Savannah, Georgia,
Yeah.
one of the things I saw is the bench that he sat at.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, that's really cool. All right, was it? I was about to say it was like covered in non-masked people, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Savannah was not good for masks.
Okay. Yeah.
Mississippi, very good. Georgia, not.
Yeah. Sweet, sweet Georgia.
Savannah was better than the rest of Georgia, though.
Okay.
Also, Savannah is a remarkably progressive, liberal town in Georgia. It's like suddenly, there's multiple ethnic restaurants and gay pride flags everywhere.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was like, wow, this is random.
Yeah.
I literally don't think I've ever thought of Savannah, Georgia before I was there.
Right. Okay, that kind of makes sense to me.
I mean, yeah, it's the second largest city in a state I didn't plan on visiting.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I don't know what the second largest city in Washington State is.
You would, yeah. If you were to ask me that, I have zero idea.
I don't know. It's not a part of the country I would expect you to know.
Yeah,
Go to.
That's true. That's true. So Ted, we've talked a lot about characters there in general. What would you rate this system right here?
Okay, out on a 0 to 3 scale, I'd give it a 3.
0 out of 3 what?
No, 0 to 3 plus 1s on your approaches.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good. All right. I would also give it a 3.
If we put this on a much higher scale, like 1 to 100, I'd give it like a 97.
Okay, yeah.
It is one of my favorite systems. One of the things is you can actually download online the PDF that's all the hard rules of it for free. They just put that out,
which is awesome.
And it's 2 pages. Everything else is what makes good aspects of everything.
Yeah,
and it's a big guide. The book is $5.
Yeah, so there's literally almost no reason not to play this.
No, there's no reason not to play this. It is such a fun game.
Would you say this is the most approachable RPG
that we've done so far? Yes. And
okay.
Even if I really had to think about it, it's definitely up there.
Yeah, okay.
It might not be the most approachable, but it's in the top
10. Okay, I'll
I'd
agree with that.
Think about what ones would be more.
Okay.
Out of the ones I just have a hard copy of.
Yeah.
This is by far the most approachable.
Yeah. All right.
100% the most approachable I own.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Fair enough, Ted.
Yeah, you do not have to explain much. You just need normal dice if you don't mind doing a little bit of abstraction.
Yeah.
Character creation is a laugh.
Yeah.
You're really incentivized to play in character even to your weaknesses.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, there's very few games that do that well.
No, I definitely agree. So
this does it well.
It's a rare kind of situation there.
Hugmire does it well.
Yeah.
That's really all I can think of.
Okay, yeah, that's
the other versions of Fate, I suppose, but that's kind of cheating.
Yeah, that's more or less the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but I love this RPG.
Yeah, and by the way, the reason I like this one over the other Fates,
yeah,
like Fate Prime, there isn't distinction on types of aspects, so everything kind of has to have a weakness and a strength in it.
Oh, really?
Interesting compels, otherwise you're just very boring.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it can't be your high aspect is best swordsman of the world. It has to be, in the top 3, or I will challenge the best swordsman in the world. Or
oh, okay. Yeah.
Which it doesn't sound bad or anything, but it takes a while to figure out how to make that.
Okay.
And the book is not very good at telling you that you need to do that.
Okay, that's fair.
Also, the skills are wonky, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
This is streamlined version, and anytime a game makes a rules light version,
Yeah.
it tends to be stripped down to what it's supposed to be.
Right. And yes.
And
Okay.
I found that the majority of RPG companies have done a very good job at making rules light versions.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of surprised because I honestly expected most of these to suck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes.
But then it's like, oh no, we made a rules light version of Shadowrun. Like looking through, it's like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, it's cutting down on all the problems of Shadowrun.
It's just good because that's like the crunchiest system in the world.
Yeah, I would. It'd be hard for me to figure like what other system would be more. I don't know.
There are some, but none anyone has played. Like I think I own a couple books that's like, yep, this is crunchier.
Yeah, but no one has played this.
Yeah, no one. Like it goes Palladium and then Shadowrun, and after that is the abyss of things no one's played.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough, Ted. Yeah, but I want to say thank you everybody for listening.
Have a happy New Year.
Have the happiest of New Years.
Now, there was something me and Kevin were toying with.
Oh yes, I almost forgot about this. Yeah.
What would we be in Fate Accelerated?
And since you can look up the rules basically for free, so
yeah. Plus, if you follow what we said,
yeah,
you can just make the characters. Like there was 95% of the rules of this game said in this podcast. I did not go over making advantages.
Yes.
Finding the troubles of others, and probably one or two things I can't think of, but almost the entire RPG was said in this podcast.
Yeah, so if you could please, if you are so inclined, try to make Ted and myself in this system, based on what you know about us through this podcast.
Yes, please.
Yes, and if you could send them to the email
downtimein@gmail.com, though I'll also accept it as a tweet.
Yes.
Because, frankly, you could probably make this one tweet if you wanted to.
Basically, yes. So, or a tweet longer if you really need to.
This is a character sheet you can fit on an index card if you really want to.
Yeah, we challenge you all to try to make some characters out of us here. And if we see them, then we'll talk about them on the next podcast.
Yes, please do. Have a good day, everyone. Stay safe. Hope 2021 is better.
Yeah, yes.
Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Yeah, that's very safe thing to say. All right, thank you everybody. Goodbye.